I stood beside my father's casket in the hushed church, black dress clinging to me like a second skin, when my sister leaned in close enough for me to smell her Chanel and whispered with pure venom, "You deserve nothing." The words sliced through the silence like a blade. Every eye in that small Pennsylvania church turned to me, waiting for the explosion. But I didn't flinch. I'd spent 31 years learning how to swallow pain without a sound. This time, though, something was different. The lawyer hadn't even read the will yet, and I already knew the verdict was about to flip the entire family on its head. My name is Evelyn Eve Bennett. That afternoon in our quiet town outside Philadelphia, the whole county had come to bury Victor Bennett, the man who'd built half the luxury resorts and high-end developments from the Poconos to the Delaware River. Victor Bennett, the self-made real estate titan worth north of $45 million. To the outside world, he was a pillar of the community. To me, he was the man who taught me exactly how invisible a daughter could be. My sister Isabella, Bella to everyone who mattered, stood across from me looking every inch the grieving princess. Perfect blonde chignon, designer black dress, handkerchief dabbing at eyes that weren't even wet. When she reached my side, she delivered that whisper like a gift she'd been saving for years. "You deserve nothing." And she meant it. I kept my face blank. 31 years of practice. Bella had always been the golden child. The one who could cry and get the world. The one who never had to earn anything. I was the eldest. The difficult one. The dramatic one. The scapegoat. The service dragged on in that heavy, suffocating silence. The minister spoke about legacy and community, but all I could hear were the echoes of every time Dad had dismissed me. Every migraine that left me vomiting in the bathroom at 12, "You're just being dramatic, Eve." Every time I collapsed from what doctors later discovered was severe untreated anemia. "Bella's younger, and she never complains. Mom tried to protect me until the cancer took her when I was 13. On her deathbed, she begged Dad to finally listen to me. He never did. After Mom died, Aunt Lydia swept in. Dad's older sister. Sharp as a scalpel. Never married. No kids of her own. She chose her favorite immediately and never looked back. Bella could do no wrong. I could do no right. I built my escape 3 hours away in New York City. Rose to senior strategist at a top crisis management firm. 6-figure salary. Respect. Then the merger came. My position was eliminated. 8 months of brutal job hunting later, I was broke and had no choice but to accept Dad's charity, a dingy one-bedroom above a laundromat in one of his worst properties. Market rate rent. Of course. Victor Bennett didn't believe in handouts. Bella, meanwhile, had never left. She'd positioned herself as Dad's assistant, spending company money like it was hers. Wearing designer clothes. Driving the cars. Telling everyone she basically ran Bennett Luxury Developments. The breaking point came during the planning of the Riverfront Resort project, Dad's legacy. The environmental impact reports were doctored. Wetlands boundaries falsified. If it went through, the EPA would have crucified us. Criminal charges. Millions in fines. Possible jail time. I tried to warn him. Bella called me dramatic. Aunt Lydia called me jealous. Dad told me to leave. So I did what I always did. I fixed it anyway. Silently. Spent my last savings on an independent consultant. Pulled strings with old EPA contacts. Submitted corrected documentation anonymously. 2 weeks later, when the surprise audit hit every other developer in the state, Bennett Developments was the only one that came out clean. Dad knew it was me. He never said thank you. But something in him cracked open that night. 3 weeks before he died. The 2 a.m. phone call came. His voice was shaking. Eve. My office. Now, he showed me everything. Years of systematic theft. Fake vendors. Inflated invoices. Forged signatures. Bella and Aunt Lydia had been bleeding the company for almost 8 years. Over $2 million. And the final betrayal, Bella had forged Dad's signature to increase his life insurance and name herself sole beneficiary. Dated 6 days earlier. That night, Dad looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time in 3 decades. I've been a blind fool. Evelyn. About everything. He changed the will the next day. Completely. At the lawyer's office after the burial, the bomb detonated. Mr. Grant. Dad's longtime attorney. Read the new will calmly. To my sister Isabella Bennett. $1. And the contents of Storage Unit 19 at the Industrial Park, everything you've already taken from me. To my sister Lydia Bennett. $1. You know exactly what you did. To my daughter Evelyn Bennett. The remainder of the estate. Everything. The company. All properties. All accounts. $45 million. The entire empire. Bella screamed. Actually screamed. Aunt Lydia turned gray. Then Mr. Grant played the video. Dad's own voice. Recorded 6 days before his death. Confirming every word. Confirming the theft. Confirming the forgery. Confirming that I had saved the company while Bella took credit and plotted his death for the insurance. Dad's letter was read aloud. He admitted everything. The years of gaslighting. The medical neglect. The way he'd let them destroy me while rewarding their lies. He couldn't change the past, but he could make sure I was never powerless again. The storage unit contained every piece of jewelry Bella had stolen from Mom's collection. Every dollar she'd taken from the safe. Every valuable she'd quietly removed from the house over the years. All photographed. All documented. Bella and Aunt Lydia were finished. I stood up in that conference room while they screamed and threatened lawsuits. My voice, when it finally came out, was quiet. Deadly calm. 31 years, I said. That's how long I've been silent. Today that ends. I listed every cruelty. Every sabotage. Every lie they'd spread about me, that I was unstable. That I'd been fired. That I was a drug addict. That I'd had a breakdown. I played the recordings. Showed the emails. The fake complaints. The forged documents. Then I gave my orders. Bella had 72 hours to vacate the main house. Only her personal belongings. I had the full inventory. Aunt Lydia's consulting contract was terminated immediately. Any attempt to contact clients would trigger the non-disclosure penalties, $5 million plus criminal charges. As I walked out, Bella's broken voice called after me, "We're family." Eve. What about forgiveness? I turned one last time. Family doesn't spend 31 years trying to erase one of its own. You made your choices. Now live with them. The house Dad left me, the beautiful Victorian Mom had dreamed about. The one she'd walk past every Sunday pointing out where the garden would be was now mine. I stood on that wraparound porch as darkness fell, the November wind cutting through my coat. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel invisible. I finally existed. And they would never be able to deny it again.